Coming back here on Locked On Baylor, the official podcast of Sawyer Robertson's Heisman campaign. I have got all my connections here with FanDuel and all the people I need on future bets for Sawyer Robertson to win the Heisman Trophy. 60-1, make yourself some money. This kid's at least going to put up a shot here, okay? Because so far, he is unequivocally one of, if not the best quarterbacks in college football. Through 2 weeks, he has thrown up at least 400 yards in both games. He's thrown 7 touchdowns, no picks, and he single-handedly led this Baylor team to a 14-point fourth quarter comeback on the road against a top 20 team that was in the CFP last year. And once again, you need to know, fellas and ladies, it's not just me anymore. It is not just me anymore. Everyone is starting to take notice of what Sawyer Robertson can do, including some of the leading analysts in all of college football. Let's hear it.
Sawyer Robertson is the best quarterback in college football.
Okay.
He was spectacular in that game. The dude's got ice in his veins, kept delivering. He right now is throwing for 429 yards a game. He's got 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and one of the best comebacks of the year, and maybe in recent memory, that he put on his back. And he's 1-1, which is kind of crazy too, because I don't know what happens with Baylor the rest of the way. They got issues on the defensive side of the ball, which we knew against Auburn. He's going to put up monster numbers. If they could get, now this is a big question because that defense, he's 60-1 right now to win the Heisman Trophy. I think it's kind of worth a flyer to take it. Now, if they're 8-4, that, obviously could hurt his chances. He can sling it.
I've always said Danny Kannell knows ball. Danny Kannell knows ball. The best quarterback in America. Lenora Stellers, nope. Cade Klubnick, who? Arch Manning? Tommy Castellanos? Take your pick, man. Carson Beck, Drew Aller, no, and no. Sawyer Robertson is the best quarterback in college football. The best quarterback in the best quarterback conference, and the best in America. It's tough to argue with right now. It really is. I'm seeing a lot of shouts for Taylor Green at Arkansas, seeing a lot for Zane Flores. That's not nice. That's not nice. But right now, if you're talking about quarterbacks in this conference, it's Sawyer Robertson, a little bit lower, Josh Hoover, and then kind of everyone else. I know some people still think Avery Johnson's going to turn around. He might. People are thinking Baron Morton's underrated. Sure, not in the class of Josh Hoover, let alone Sawyer Robertson. And then there's Devin Dampier that comes up all the time. Everyone still loves Devin Dampier from Utah. In fact, there are some lists out there today of top 10 quarterbacks in college football right now that don't have Sawyer Robertson on it and have Devin Dampier on it. Devin Dampier, who was thrown for 398 yards. Sawyer Robertson had that through 3 quarters of one game. He's thrown for 419 and 440. So yeah, he hasn't thrown a pick yet. He barely throws the ball. Good rusher. 112 yards already. 6 yards a carry. Woo. Dampier looks like he's good for what that Utah team needs right now. But Sawyer Robertson is putting a team on his back. And I find it interesting that Danny Kannell said, if they're 8-4, I don't know. And I'm not knocking him for this because I'm genuinely interested. And I would love to hear the Baylor fans' take of what does it take record-wise for Sawyer Robertson to be up there? Because if this defense keeps playing the way it has, Sawyer's going to have some of the best numbers in the country. He's just going to keep putting up numbers, man. He's probably going to stat pad this weekend against Samford, but he's going to keep putting up the numbers. And Baylor's won its only Heisman Trophy for a team that finished the regular season 9-3. It was not exactly a BCS player, not a Big 12 championship player that year. They could be the 2025 version of both of those things. Obviously not a BCS player. You could be a college football playoff player and a Big 12 championship player. But you need to be 10-2. Can you do it at 8-4? What was Jaden Daniels, 9-3? Can you do it at 8-4 at a school like Baylor? Is there a Baylor tax? Is there a Big 12 tax? A 9-win team from the Big 12 had the Heisman Trophy winner last year who didn't play quarterback, was not in the Big 12 championship game, was not in the college football playoff hunt. So I don't know. Maybe 8-4 is still good enough if he's going to throw for 5,000 yards and 40 some odd touchdowns. Like he's on pace to throw for 42 touchdowns and 0 picks. I think he'd win the Heisman if he did that. Maybe that's just bias locked on Baylor Cam Stewart saying it. But I said it earlier this summer. I said the Sawyer Robertson Heisman campaign might be made or broken in the first 2 weeks. I said both Baylor and Sawyer Robertson have an opportunity the first 2 weeks of the season and extend it out more the first month of the season to really prove something to America. That A, this was a good team. Obviously, they didn't necessarily prove that after week 1. And B, that Sawyer Robertson could put himself on the national scene if he has big games against Auburn and SMU. Half a check on the first one, quarter of a check on the first one. Big check, double check on the second one. Sawyer's been great through 2 games. Great, impeccable, impenetrable through 2 games. And now people are starting to take notice. And Todd McShay, who had the glowing review of him over the summer, tweeted out over the weekend, I was right about Sawyer Robertson. Keep an eye out for Sawyer Robertson. We were right. Danny Kannell now on the train saying he's the best quarterback in college football right now. Take notice. Buy low right now. Because, by the way, Auburn might be the best defense he faces all year. The other one that's in that discussion, Utah. Devin Dampier, they'll go head-to-head in November. Houston still looks like a pretty damn good defense with Willie Fritz. That was the one that gave Sawyer fits last year. That is a really interesting one because that's the last game of the regular season. You can lose a Heisman Trophy in the last week of the season. It's tough to win it. Ndamukong Suh couldn't do it in 2009, and he had one of the greatest last game of the season performances we've seen against UT in the Big 12 championship. But you can lose it. Colin Klein might have lost himself a Heisman at Floyd Casey Stadium at the back end of that 2012 season. Sawyer's got his 2 best offenses, Sawyer has his 2 best defenses left on the schedule in November, Utah and Houston. That's going to be really interesting to see if he loses a Heisman Trophy in those last couple of weeks. But if he's in that position, that means Baylor's going to be doing pretty well, and Sawyer's going to be having one of the great years in Baylor football history. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is he the best quarterback in college football? And what will it take? This is a question we will come back to over and over again till the end of the season. What will it take, stats-wise, record-wise, image-wise, for Sawyer Robertson to win the Heisman Trophy? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you think Sawyer's the best quarterback in college football. And if not, let me know how dumb I am in the comment section below.